The top two teams out of China have faced each other for the first time out of a best of three, and Vici Gaming came out absolutely dominant. Thank you, Thomas, for playing us in. It is the upper bracket, so you know there's still a lot of room for things. But I thought the match was going to be a little bit more even, Moxie. It was not very even.
No, I was a little bit surprised too. It definitely felt like Vici Gaming kind of started getting that momentum, and that's part of the meta right now, though, right? Is you do very well during lanes, and then it just kind of transitions. A lot of us were confused backstage. We saw the Meteor Hammer pick up on Kunkka.
Listen, Box. It was picked up by Emo. He's 18 years old, so maybe he doesn't remember this time. But a long time ago in Dota 1 4.0 or something, there was an item called the useless item, and literally, if you buy it, it tells you that you're stupid, like down there in the description. This Meteor Hammer was, at least it gave you stats. That item gave you nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. This game was weird because at the 25-minute mark, it was that fight at the top bounty rune, and that was when I thought the game was going to turn around. It was actually probably the best fight we saw today, where DY ended it with like a 5-man overgrowth. But if we just go back to the draft, your top lane was a PL Venge. You're not going to win that lane in any sort of capacity. I'm surprised Fly had any sort of farm in that lane, and Kyle was right. They just had no damage, and it goes back to the Kunkka Meteor Hammer. When PL's your only damage, you're going to lose because you're versus a Drow, you're versus a Rubik who keeps stealing Doom over and over. You are not going to win that game.
It's not only that he's stealing Doom, they're also lot-sorbing the target that's getting doomed every
Two Dooms.
So yeah, so you get 2 Dooms for your own team. It's 2 Dooms beat 1 Doom.
Yeah.
Also, that Doom in the laning stage got shut down by Treant pretty hard.
And that's like a lane you should, like the Grim Doom, like we saw it in the first series, like boom, just run at him, get kills. They couldn't do it because this tree's just weaving in and out of the trees.
But that's so, like, that's all about mind controls Doom and how he plays it against everyone else.
You talked about that,
You try to copy that. You make one single mistake, you're not aggressive enough, and suddenly it doesn't work.
No, we see that Doom getting bullied over and over again, and he tries so hard.
That was a good play there.
Incredible stomp, though, right over by the top shrine. I think he got 3 heroes, was it?
Yeah, he did.
It was fantastic, but you needed more follow-up.
You did see, though, IG, they know, even though they were down most of that game, they knew how to take fights, and they took reasonably good fights. The only problem was they overextended, and then all of a sudden your PL's out of position, and
They did have a couple of moments in this game in which it looked like they're coming back. It looked like they had a chance, right? That triple stomp by the Doom was pretty good. They had a couple of good team fights. They even, I believe the network did switch back in their favor, but it just wasn't good enough.
And we can hear heated discussion on the side of Vici Gaming, and I can only imagine that the reason that heated discussion is going on is, first of all, there's a language barrier, so it might just be very, very friendly.
They're just friendly,
and they might just be joking around. Second,
I love you.
Second, I think that Vici Gaming feels like they should be continuing to be dominant, especially after that good laning stage, and they might have slipped up a little bit here and there. But we're going to find out what they're going to do with the draft of the second game of the series after the break.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports house maker.
What's up, Quinn? What's up? Rich here, and I'm at the DreamHack Major, and for the first time ever at an event for me, I get to hang out with the players, dive in to some Dota. Quinn, they gave me a little bit of time with you to talk about getting good at Dota, and I've decided to also help you throughout the process of this interview through a thing I read about called positive reinforcement. So every time you answer a question correctly, I'm going to reward you.
Sounds great.
We gotta start now, because that was the correct one.
I mean, that wasn't an answer. Was it? Oh, I guess it was.
Now, Quinn, my first question has to do with you coming up in pubs. I heard you were quite a wholesome guy. You used to say, good luck, have fun. And then after the game, you would say, GG's, have a nice day. Now you're a toxic old man. Can you tell me about that progression that everybody at home can look to go through from a chipper young person who has fun playing the game to somebody who hates everyone they play against and play with?
I think as a start, you should put your whole self-worth into Dota, and every pub win should mean the world to you. Start with that, and then over the years of spamming game after game, regardless of your mental state, you will decline into madness, just as I and many others have.
Would you say you're molding?
I want to answer another question. Yes.
Just too big.
Stop.
It's fine. I want to show you something. You told me a lot about how you got good at the game, so I want to show you how I got good at the game. Let me take the wheel. Papa Bear. Oh. Oh no.
What just happened?
I think we went back one menu too far. Oh. Back
to
on
Bane.
Bane. Did you see that new Bane skin?
Nope. It's the wrong button, I think.
Oh shit. Thank you,
It's
sir.
that one up there, yeah.
There we go. Now this is the new training method. Purge is going to be making a YouTube video on this soon. It's called Showcase Mode.
Okay.
I feel like it's been slept on. This is how you really learn all of the intimate details about the hero you're playing. Take Mareska Sama, for example. Do you like Mareska Chen?
I don't know if I could say I like those two words, but Dark Willow's aight.
Say you love Dark Willow.
I refuse.
Say you love Dark Willow.
I refuse.
Say you love Dark Willow.
I refuse.
Say you love Dark Willow and I'll feed you the banana.
I don't want the banana.
You get the banana if you say you like Dark Willow.
Then I won't. I don't want them. No. What do I think of Rich's training method? I mean, I can see how he got to where he is in Dota. Do I think Rich will ever be a pub star? Nah.
The draft of Game 2 between Vici Gaming and IG is soon upon us. And we're going to just discuss what we think should be changed, because was this first win for Vici Gaming, was that a draft win? We started off, or rather we ended the draft saying, good luck fighting into that. Right, Lizard?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's only the draft. I think they outplayed them very heavily in the laning stage. You could see it on every single lane that they were pretty much dominant. On that mid lane as well, we've seen Kunkka. I believe he died once to him solo. Also, he was forced to TP out super early on. They were winning their safe lane with Drow Ranger. They won with Drow Ranger versus PL, and there's a reason why PL is picked and why he has such a high win rate versus versus Drow. So.
And I like it because they protected it, right? Now that I think about it, you had a tree, you had a Viper, and you had a Pit Lord. So if you fight at like a choke point, all of a sudden, they just can't find you. This Drow can stand behind all those abilities and just unload on him, which is what they did. They always fought at choke points, which I thought was really, really good.
Yeah, and Eurus just, like, you watch his positioning throughout all of these fights because he has those enablers. He's just able to just lay back and just go and hit things, and that's exactly what he needed to do during the entire time. You see also the buff on the Viper as well on Ori. He just, those wings were flapping, man. They were...
It was such a good, like, they had such good item progressions as well. From the Mjolnir on Viper, that combos really well with the Pit of Malice, with Nether Toxin. He just stands in front and he's invincible. As PL, if you go on him with your illusions, they just pop.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Moxie, you said you were going to keep an extra eye out on the mid lane with Emo versus Ori.
Yes.
And also Grant even tweeted like that's going to be the best matchup. What did you like other than the Meteor Hammer? What did you? That wasn't maybe not the your first item of choice. What did you think about the mid lane?
I think having some of those rotations really helped out. Like Lizard mentioned the time when Emo had to just TP out. We were sitting there and we're like, oh my god, that last little bit of that poison, is it going to be able to take him down? And it wasn't able to, but like it did cost him time to have to leave. And you really need to be present, especially when you're in a mid lane situation. You need to get all of that experience and be able to start accelerating.
I think it's very important to play to the strengths of a young player. He cannot be super experienced in every single playstyle if he's that young, right? So give him his flashy heroes. Give him these heroes that can create space. That can like Kunkka is great. He's strong, but he's very like I don't know, static kind of a strong. You need a different mindset behind the Kunkka than behind like let's say a Storm.
Yeah.
Did he forget to X mark?
What?
Oh, that
Did
was
he
a
forget to X mark?
So, yeah.
I think so.
I think so. On mid lane.
On mid lane, yeah.
Like the moment that I saw it is he's just tipping away as a Kunkka. He skilled X mark and he's just going base for like with 20% HP.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it hurt. I will say he did a good job, because you're going to lose to a Viper. Kunkka will lose to a Viper. He did a good job right when he hit level 6. He went up top, got a kill. He then went back middle. He kind of got beat again, and he went back top again and got another kill. And that's what you have to do as Kunkka. So even though they did get beat and he had a rough lane, he did play it correctly. It's just you're at 4-3 CS and the Viper's at 40-10.
I mean, there was an overall last pick Viper, right? You know, as like when you're Emo, you know you're gonna get counterpicked.
That's also so funny because Kunkka is picked as a hero that's pretty stable on mid, no matter what, right? There aren't many counters.
You're gonna get killed eventually.
But but the problem is you forget about some heroes. Like this Viper was banned out all the time just a few weeks ago. But some other heroes take priority, right? Because they're more important. And now suddenly there's a Viper last pick. Like a few weeks ago, if a Viper went through the first stage, you're surprised.
That's ranged fairy swipes. That's insane.
We got the draft for game number 2. Vici Gaming on the Radiant side and IG on the Dire side. And first pick is going the way of IG.
The IO, the one left in the pool from Vici. We'll see if they round out the trio, and they do.
Yeah, they do. They do end up on the IG, ban out the Drow Ranger this time, so we're not going to see Eurus's Drow like last game.
And they also banned out the Slark, some sustain with the Omni Knight, which is very normal.
Man, that makes PL look really good to me, because I would say Slark has obviously like been the top carry at this tournament. PL's pretty much been second, and with Drow out.
PL pretty much always looks good.
Yeah, he
like
does.
even versus Drow, for me, he looks good. I think PL is capable of winning games versus Drow. We've seen that from Nigma over and over again. But
you just got to build around the PL, and it felt like Vici did a better job of building around their team.
Yep.
And Doom. It's just always going to be a good hero.
It's just such a safe pick, too, to pick up really early, because
it's
you know
always
exactly
a good hero as long as you skill Doom.
Yes.
Or you don't Doom the Lotus
please don't
Swords.
remind me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But it was also Carry Doom. I don't think Fly will play that.
You say that, Fever, but you know.
Okay, I will rephrase. I hope it's not Fly playing Doom.
5 seconds remaining.
Let that be a JT hero.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a JT hero.
Yeah, so one of the ways that you can deal with the Doom is you just get more cores that he is obliged to Doom, right? You get more of these heroes that can either save each other out of that Doom or just more very important heroes for a team. You greed out a little bit more because Doom is in like...
He only gets one. Exactly. One dude. And that's what EG did, right? They had Storm and Slark. They lost that game, but that was like their thought
They
process.
had Storm and Slark in the Book of Alminer. One of the teams went Omni Knight, but then they rotated him to position 4. I believe it was Nigma as well.
Yes.
4 or 5. And then he has Doom this Omni Knight that's just a position 4 or 5.
Who has like nothing,
Exactly.
And the Winter Wyvern.
Interesting.
I mean, you just look at Vici's bans, right? They're like, we're taking out all the supports, and then we're going to take the one we want. I like that.
Yeah, Vengeful, however, still in the pool. That's also kind of cool.
And of course, previous game they opened with the Treant Rubik, so they opened with both supports.
The Treant in the pool as well. Like these are usually highly prioritized, at least prioritized higher than Winter Wyvern, at least right now.
I think Vici might want to pick up the Rubik again, honestly, because already, you know, you've got one spell that's just very, very good to steal, obviously. And then on top of that, you know, it's just a really good support. We know that PYW can play it very, very well.
Yeah, he was the most improved player from like last tournament to like this tournament. It feels like that dude is making moves.
Oh, okay. They went with the Razor.
Razor.
Really.
That was banned, right? Yeah, that was first banned last game.
Yeah.
And that's one of those heroes, you don't usually lose your lane, but even if you do, now once you hit level 6, you just go to the jungle and you are farming so quickly, camp to camp. It is very easy to come back on that hero.
Interesting. We haven't really seen a lot of Razor lately, though. You can lane versus Doom as well. It should be a pretty solid lane for you.
And it denies, like, as you said, right, you pick a hero and it kind of denies further picks, right? Like, you can't pick a life stealer now. You can't pick, like, any of these really melee heroes, it feels like. But you're going to have to, maybe.
And he's picked so early, you can't really put him on a lane. You don't really know where he's going to be, so you have to think about that as well. You need to draft accordingly to that.
I think they want to support here. I think they're thinking between either their 5 or honestly, they might just go PL here.
Bane.
Bane?
They
Okay, they go 5.
Right? Invictus, Invictus Gaming, they definitely have a different approach to their supporting cast. Like they pick some heroes that aren't necessarily in the meta. I've seen it in their first series as well. They picked Bane once to. They like to have these single target eliminators on their supports.
Is that also like something coming out of that particular region? Because I know for a long time in the South
Not
American
necessarily.
region,
You don't see that.
Popular.
Yeah, not necessarily. You don't see that
So it's just
in
an IG
every.
thing.
Yeah, you don't see that at many teams.
We had a Bane during the group stage, and it was pretty much, we were kind of talking about, it's like,
Was it IG that played it?
Well,
No, it
IG
was-
played it as
Yeah.
they did, but we saw one as well. And
Yes.
I think the biggest thing is, right, we're seeing you win the lanes in this tournament, you're winning the game. And Bane, he may not be, as you say, the big team fighter, but he can win a lane super hard. And I think they realized, like, we lost our lanes bad. We gotta change it up.
The thing is, what I see in this meta is that everyone is focusing on utility and auras, and teams that aren't are usually losing, right? You need to have a couple of items that beef your team up. You need to have these heroes such as Vengeful, you know, like
Auras,
Doom with some, just auras, and Bane definitely doesn't help out with that.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the Abaddon, but they did just go when they banned it, because that's another hero that creeps in occasionally, especially building those auras that we talked
Yeah,
about.
he's also so good versus Bane. There's also that.
Even
Yes.
Doom, it's another thing, like, you may not take off the Doom, but you just keep them alive while they run away. A
Would
lot
you
like a
want to
Centaur.
get like a Dispel or something,
There's
do you
a
think?
Centaur. They're probably going to need to, which means Legion Commander, obviously, with Ab out, now the Centaur, so you can't just Stampede run away from
Man,
Doom.
I don't like Legion. I think
Neither
that
do
hero is
I.
such a trap. Like, you pick it and it just doesn't work.
Like, we
most
saw
of the time.
Mind Control. He just,
Yeah, he struggled.
He was below crit. He was below Fly at a certain point in that game as
It's
a
like
Legion.
your last resort on that offlane that has a save, right? Or a cleanse ability, pretty much.
Which was weird because when Enigma picked it, they were still in Abaddon in the pool, so it's like, why? I don't.
Were they playing versus PL that game or not?
It was not.
Not?
I'll check for you.
There are some
getting
situations
this
in
one.
which
I'm
Legion is
getting the
alright.
notes out. It was indeed not.
Not.
It was Bloodseeker, ODN's Tiny Lich that Legion was against.
Yeah, we
Oh
have a-
yeah, he was just chased across
Yeah,
the
he-
map. Don't-
yeah.
I remember it.
But he had a rough lane as well, right? The Bloodseeker Lich, you can't really do much against it, no matter who you are. Underlord is a way more solid offlaner. Sturdy boy.
And it's a lot like their last draft where this winner Wyvern, if she gets an ulti off and catches 2 to 3 heroes, you already have follow-up now. You just place the Pit of Malice and all of a sudden this team fight is already in your favor. It's a lot like Naga Disruptor. You have a setup.
You know what's also really cool about having Underlord and Razor is the fact that some of these heroes that are really good versus Underlord, you can't pick them because they suck versus
It's
Razor.
true.
And
It actually
he's
is.
literally going to suck your damage out if you
They
pick
both
some
are.
Ursa. Yeah.
Yeah, they've all, no, they're damage Underlord and Razor. No one's doing anything. I like it. Invictus.
Vici Gaming.
Monkey King. All right, there you go. This is a hero that definitely does do well versus Underlord. But now, is Vici Gaming going to allow that? Or are they going to swap up the lanes? And also, if this Monkey King is on the safe lane, oh, Dark's here. All right, that could be your position 4, right?
Yeah,
I think it
because
is.
we've
I
seen
think it's gonna be.
Yepser
Yeah.
play Darkseer.
We've seen it, but they can do different things with this lineup as well. Underlord could be even played as a 2, but probably not.
I think it's going to be the 4 Darkseer. I like it because, right, the Centaur gets banned. Darkseer is like an individual Centaur. You pop the Stampede to run from Doom, right? Darkseer can do the same thing, just surge the Doom target. And he's going to build those mechs, the Greaves.
Yeah, and he sometimes can literally get the Centaur.
Yeah,
so Centaur creep for that Stomp Vacuum, which is pretty neat. But what I want to say as well, Monkey King is a counter to Underlord, but usually this is... if they're alone, right? If they're one-on-one.
Yes.
But if you have these position 4s running around, Monkey King is just so much easier to die on that lane, so much easier to kill. But hype, we see Darkseer coming back into the meta. What the hell is
I'm not sure
happening?
if I would use the word hype.
I'm not sure about that either, but
Yeah. Some vacuum walls can be pretty high.
That is true. That is
walls.
true. AoE Surge is a little broken, though.
It is. Most skills that magically get AoE after 30 minutes in the game become pretty good.
Yes,
that aren't
that is
supposed
true.
to be AoE.
That is true.
But he's level 1.
Dude, level 1
it's a
Surge is
support.
hilarious. It's like 4 move speed. You're like cast.
Iron Shell as well, level 1, just
yeah.
They
so
destroyed
bad.
that.
Arcward.
All right.
Okay.
That's an early arc.
I like it. It lanes well versus Razor and Underlord. I think that's the biggest thing. And now it's by far the best hero in the late.
I'm not sure about Razor though.
Don't think?
I'm not so sure about that lane. I think Razor can play that lane really well. Like, you can win versus Arcward with Razor up until some point, right? When he gets more levels in Flux, it's easier. But you can just static link him if he's
like trying to fight you. Yeah.
They had this core trio as well versus Reality Rift. Their 2 supports that time were Disruptor and Lich. This time, obviously, we already have a Bane that is going to be played as a position 5, most likely. What is the position 4 that could really round that lineup out for IG?
I'm making sure this isn't a Doom 4. I know it's usually JT, and I think you're
There
right.
is
It
still
gonna
a
be-
chance, of course,
There
for Doom
is.
4.
And obviously, you know, in the Chinese scene for a while, the Monkey King Bobica, like the boy was an absolute beast on that 4 position Monkey King, but I think you're right. Who is a good 4? Rubik's still in?
They've played Rubik, Tusk, Sky, and Shaker.
I don't mind Tusk here.
And
It's
of course,
a save
Grimstroke.
tag team.
They could do Grimstroke again.
their
They
team
do.
fight is so weak.
It is.
Bane,
But they got
Tusk.
the
I think their
double
team
do.
fight just,
Yeah.
it feels like there's no 4 that makes their team fight better than Vici's now, right? Like you have to have
What about an ET or
Hero.
something? Or is it
ET
already
comes to
taken out?
my mind. Yeah, it
Because it
could
can
be
kind of, if
alright.
you get a good stomp, you can kind of reset. You can have
Something
a
to
threat for
mess
the
up.
Roche pit, exactly, like too. So
it
not
resets
that
the
really.
the Underlord pit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
that
that's
a
the
lot.
only thing I can.
Let's see if Vici Gaming likes that as well and therefore bans it out. Oh, they like the Bat Rider. So we'll take that out.
There's so much single target lockdown coming out from the side of IG.
I would love PL
and
for
Bat
Vici
Rider
game
ban- is
right
it Bat
now. Like,
Rider-
I think that hero would destroy
Position
IG.
4?
I mean, you could run a bat as
You
a 4.
could, yeah.
That's
I
been a
guess so.
thing for a bit.
I feel this is one of those where I think these 2 teams know each other from
Yeah.
the scrims, and they definitely know what position Invictus is playing these heroes, and we may not.
Yeah.
Because like you're banning out a bat when clearly we don't think like at all that's what it is, which is always fun. That's interregional Dota for
Yep.
you.
That's why this is extra interesting.
Well, they get the whole little like meta between the 2 teams too, especially like at the bigger tournaments like majors, minors. Over time, just throughout the tournament, you see them changing everything to each other, which is a lot of fun. But
TA banned out.
I'm gonna see so much regional Dota
Y-
today. Oh
that-
my
that's
gosh.
what we're talking about right now, right? We have a TA ban, and
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not what we would have expected.
You said you liked PL for Vici,
Yeah.
Lizard. Like, just is it that good? You think it's just the game winner here?
I don't know if it. So this is the reason why I like the PL. It's very chaotic versus Doom and Bane. Like Bane and Doom are really difficult to play versus a PL. And also it's a hero that right now with the Shaker it becomes a bit more difficult. But I think overall PL versus Arc Warden is also pretty decent. You can get
agree.
on top of him.
It's like the
really
Drow
easily.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
it
You
is
can
a
also-
good counter, but
You can also lane versus Arc Warden on mid versus as
PL versus Arc Warden?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like you can do it. The Arc Warden hero, like, he has been buffed a little bit recently. I like him a bit more than before. The clone lasts longer, which allows you to outpush a bit more, which allows you
yeah.
to farm better, obviously.
His level 1 Q is still trash, so
Yep.
once you get that level 2, it's not as bad. I like the Earthshaker. It's kind of like the Elder Titan. I guess we were thinking of like a big team fight, and we kind of forgot about this bad boy. He's one of the best 4 team fighters ever.
Is it good enough to force out that 3rd game, though? And is it good enough to deal with the Kunkka? I feel like Ori is going to show Amo how it's done.
Dude, we're getting the carry Eurus Razor. Oh, yeah. I really like Vici Gaming's draft like a lot this game. You have the reset from Winter Wyvern. You have an Underlord to follow up. You have the Kunkka boat on top. Like, if they get a good Winter Wyvern ulti, the fight's over. There is literally nothing Invictus Gaming can do.
Well, they have to be, that's the issue I'm having looking at this too, is how do you get to the back lines against the Winter Wyvern so that way it can't, you know, set up. Yeah, you've got Bane, who's got really good lockdown, but Bane's got to reach Winter Wyvern. If you have a good Wyvern player, they're not going to be anywhere nearby.
I definitely believe there are flaws in the IG draft, but at the same time, it is an Arc Warden game, and if it goes super late, who do you have against you? It's a Razor and it's a Kunkka. Like, you can deal with those scores later on.
It's going to be a timing push from Vici for sure.
A timing push. See if we can get a third game to this series. Let's hear from Kyle and Cal.
Yes. Let's hear from us. I'm not sure if we're on break right now because there's a countdown, but I also hear myself in my ears, so I don't know what's going on. As you can see, we're having a little fun before the game starts because we do have a pause on our hands. And it seems like the teams were having a little bit of fun during the draft as well, Kyle. I think we saw a little bit of giggling.
A lot of
bit
giggling
laughing
there. Yeah, I'm always a bit concerned when I see a team pick Arc Warden and the other team is just chuckling to themselves, taking an hour and a half to decide on their final ban. You got to assume they're confident about the draft. Once again, I think Vici's going to have a solid laning phase. I look at the IG lineup, and I'm looking. I don't see. You've got two
You don't
cores.
think they fixed the problems from the last game?
Well, I don't think they're going to buy Meteor Hammer again, so that's one thing solved. Although
Hey,
it could be
you
possible.
don't know. Arc Warden double Meteor Hammer, baby.
Dude, that's an idea.
Big brain?
You might actually be onto something.
Big brain right here.
Interesting. Well, thing is, you've got Monkey King, you've got Arc Warden. Typically, these heroes, they kind of perform the same job in a fight, right? You're protecting, like, an area.
Yeah.
I like Monkey King with heroes that stand in the ult and like Siege Tower, and to an extent that's Arc Warden, but you really typically just don't want to play that aggressive. I think Wyvern is this be-all, end-all combo breaker in the team fights that we're going to see later on. You also have Kunkka. You also have the Underlord for Yang, who I think's played it the best so far in this tournament. You talked about choke point control, fatal funnels. Once again, IG do not want to run into any sort of walled-in area.
All right, let me give the rebuttal. Let me take
Please.
IG. Let me lawyer up for IG here real quick. All right, you talk about zone control and that sort of thing. There's nothing better in this game than Wukong's command, right? We talked about this before in one of our drafts. It was like, oh, this team's trying to like win an area, but nothing beats the Monkey King ultimate, right? You may have Pit and Firestorm, but nothing beats 1,000 monkeys.
Well,
with a bubble. 2 bubbles.
I guess.
He can Venn diagram that Monkey King inside of his Wukong's command. He already has additional armor. You fighting into that? I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay.
The problem is the Wyvern, right? You also have Darkseer to just get people out of the Monkey King ult.
I mean, that was the weird part for
It's literally the
me.
same game. Just get away from the circles of death, kite the doom, and just re-engage.
They had Monkey King. It was like, all right, we've got the Darkseer, so it allows us to be able to reset and stuff. Really cool. We have Dark Rift as well, allows us to be able to reset. Awesome. And they're like, we're gonna pick Arc Warden. And I was like, what?
4th pick Arc Warden.
Doesn't, maybe the lane is like really good for Arc Warden or something, but doesn't like Razor just kind of like run at you for most of the game? Doesn't Darkseer allow people to run at you for a lot of the game? Now you've got Kunkka with the really solid catch.
And it's also an Ori Kunkka. Oh, I saw a tweet, I think it was Gods or Grant, about how they were really looking forward to this Ori versus Emo matchup. Thought it could be the most hype of the tournament.
Yeah.
So far, it's been a snoozer because Ori absolutely picked up Emo, crumpled him into a little ball, and chucked him into the dumpster. And you now have, what is this, a Kunkka versus a Monkey King matchup? This should, in theory, be favored for the Monkey King.
Yes.
We need to see that here.
I've seen it go other ways.
As have I.
It is one of those matchups that you can't screw up as Monkey King because you are a little bit low armor. Kunkka hits for a lot. He's got a nice combination.
That's a good point because Kunkka, it does physical damage now on the Tidebringer and a little bit bonus damage. So especially once you hit level 3, Monkey King starts to get harassed real heavy from it. And I've seen Ori win a number of unfavorable matchups. I remember it was it TI8, TI9? He was Huskar against a Viper and just absolutely bodied the Viper. And I've seen this as well with, he played TA... Oh, no, he played Ember versus a TA and like solo killed him, and that was another. I can't remember the player, but he wasn't a slouch. It's definitely curious. And the winner of this, of course, they'd go on to play EG in the upper bracket.
You remember when Ori was like,
"Hello."
You talk about Vici Gaming, and you're just like, "Yeah, Ori's okay. I mean, he's pretty good at like DK stuff, but he loses a lot of matchups, you know." That was like back in 2017, maybe.
Yeah. Of all the players,
God, he's gotten so fucking good.
Yeah. Of all the players, I remember. I can't remember who it is. There's been a lot of conversations. There's been a lot of Dota in my life. I'm approaching like a decade of MOBA. Starting to have my midlife crisis. But I remember people clowning on Ori for being a terrible mid laner. Discussions about how he was bad and like holding paparazzi back.
Yeah, it was like, why does this team have Ori? Like,
yeah.
Like,
and they've stuck
paparazzi.
with it, right? They continuously have changed out their 3, 4s, and 5s, but it's Ori and paparazzi, now Eurus, that have been the rocks, and I don't blame them. You think about the success of these Dota teams throughout the years, right? It's always the core players and the captains. And you can just know by the name, like when you look after a shuffle, which teams are going to be good, right? Before Artur was stuck or kept with EG, his stack always seemed like they'd be promising. Same with Miracle. Same with Sumail. Wherever these guys end up, you can assume they're going to be a good Dota team combined. We got a little bit of packet loss, by the way, folks. That's why we're still paused.
Do you think that's just because like talented players want a sure thing, right? If we give you an advantage, you need to close it out for us.
Yeah, there's no trickle-down economics, just like there's no trickle-down in Dota. You've seen a lot of the talent sort of just all commiserate at the top. Yeah. And the shuffles now, it's not really much new blood coming in. If there is any, it's just to take that 1 or 2 position as 4 old veterans make up the rest of the roster. You look at Secret, you look at EG. In the past, the players on these squads would have formed the basis of like 4 or 5 very competitive teams. Now they're all just together.
Yeah.
And there's no real reason to try anything new because you're guaranteed effectively like top 6, top 8 Dota team. Why do anything wild? Like I love PPD, love Universe, but they're having struggles right now. A big part of that is like they kind of lost their place amongst the.
Peter is no longer held as this like tier 1 talent who is getting all this other tier 1 talent onto his team, right? And so now he has to like pick up some of the newer generation of players
and hope that you just kind of find a diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
Like I tried the same for quite some time, never really had much success.
Yeah, you found a lot of rough.
Found a lot of rough.
Not a whole lot of diamonds. I feel like the one diamond you had, you brought with you. Z-Freak.
Yeah, definitely.
He was always the diamond on your team.
Shouts to Z. However, on the bright side, though, those NIP guys, eliminated early. PPD, I saw him pulling off some sick snowboard tricks. So perhaps after this career ends, he'd find another. You never know.
Is there nothing to be said for squads that are just like built together as a 5-man and just like, like Ad Finum, right? Good
Sure.
example of a team.
Oh, yeah, the
that just kinda,
power of
like, grinded
friendship.
their way up, power of friendship sort of deal. You could say the same for OG, but it's a little unfair when you have Anna and Thompson.
Do you know what really helps with friendship, Cap?
What's that?
Winning.
Ah.
Success.
Ah.
Power friendship is great, and it kind of ties into the weird catch-22 of Dota, which is that you're only going to win tournaments if your team believes in itself and its captain.
Right.
But the team's only going to believe in the captain if they're winning. It's sort of like trying to get a job nowadays. You need experience, and you're like, well, I need the job to get experience. Like, well, sorry, you'll have to come back later. And you just kind of end up going in a circle, and before you know it, you're sitting in this chair.
Are there any so we're talking about like captains that people can believe in. Obviously, when you're showing up on the Dota scene, you're not going to be able to get a chance to play with a Puppy or Kuro right away. Are there any of the captains or maybe certain cores that you really believe in out of the tier 2 or tier 1.5 scene? Maybe some teams that are in this lower bracket, or a team that you saw at the minor?
I think Whisper, unfortunately not here, of course, is a superstar in the making.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was certainly, we had a lot to say about RNG. They just seemed like a great team.
I think Lelis as well, the potential, the guy, Brazilian out of South America. And just because not because he's backstage listening, but Kazu.
Really?
Kazu and Cinderin. I think those guys have bright futures as Dota 2 players. Very important they don't try to become analysts, because that would be competition. We don't need that. You guys can win TI. Stay at it. I believe in you.
That was pretty transparent of you, Kyle.
No idea what you're talking about.
Don't go down the path of an analyst. I need as many gigs as I can get.
Yeah, please. I'll be
to
honest.
pay my mortgage.
My time on complexity did not exactly bolster my savings account. All right. In fact, we had to, not gonna lie, when we moved out of that big team house.
Yeah.
There was.
Oh, you're gonna go there, huh?
Well, let's just say that the security deposit was not fully recovered.
Yeah. Did anybody do any damage to that old house?
Well, I thought it was fine. But
did anybody
we
punch
made the
any
mistake.
walls?
We
or
moved
doors?
out, and then Rich asked if he could just crash for a couple days. No idea what happened, but I got a very angry letter from the landlord.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stains. Maybe some smells. You don't want to do that.
Still got packet loss, by the way, as you can see. Kale can't translate that for you. I'm not sure, again, what's going on, but we're going to get this underway just as soon as we can. I'm sure Twitch chat doesn't mind hearing our conversation. They'd much prefer us to do it.
Yeah, spill some more dirt on your former teammates, Kyle, for our entertainment.
Okay. What would you like to know? I played with effectively all of NA Dota, so I got you covered.
Well, that's unfortunate because we're watching China versus China, Vici Gaming versus Invictus Gaming, and we're finally ready to go. Game 2. Let's get this underway. We've got JT and Ollie grouping up. These guys looked like quite the squad at the very first minor. Very impressive. Here in the major, in the upper bracket, doing China Dota proud. But in this inter-regional matchup, it's been a bit of a rough one, at least for game 1 anyway. And judging from Kyle's analysis and some of the panels, game 2 might be a little hard as well. It's certainly not the most traditional lineup you've ever seen. Picking up that Arc Warden, a little bit interesting. Vici Gaming gave a twist of their own, taking a page out of Nigma's book. Right, was Enigma drafted 4 position Darkseer? Just double check.
And then there was Secret in the group stage that drafted a 3-position Darkseer that turned into a 4.
Yeah.
The battle begins.
I don't know how innovative that one is.
I like it in this sort of game, though. It's just team fight. That's the thing. I look at Vici. It just feels so hard for IG to win an engagement because they only have like blink initiation, right?
Yeah.
Sure, you could like pounce on someone with a Monkey King, but Vici just have these like I win buttons waiting. If someone catches, if you get X'd, you're probably just gonna die. That's easy catch. You're gonna be able to surge forwards. Razor has excellent link targets here. All 3 heroes, or all 3 cores rather. Very easy to be ran at.
It's a good start for IG. They managed to swap the lanes in time, so they're not going to get that Razor versus Doom matchup that could have happened.
Yeah.
They want to be able to get that Arc Warden against it, but they are going to try and gank JT very early here. See if they can force him to teleport, and he does. He TPs to the tier 2, very low on health. He did double down on the tangos.
And perhaps the more important matchup dodged is that Emo is in the off lane instead of mid, because he doesn't want any more of what Ori's cooking.
Yeah, this time Fly is going to try and take it to him, because after all, he's playing the Monkey King. They want this matchup, but this matchup is kind of fun. There's a high amount of variance here, just because the Monkey King should be able to win, but there is so much damage coming from this Kunkka on a low armor hero, plus you've got the combo. Even just one support rotation could make a world of difference.
It reminds me of the old school Puck versus Lina matchup, where Puck had a little more base damage, better attack animation. You'd slowly win, much like the Monkey here, but you mess up, and Lina just turns it around and kills you. Same with the
Here's going to be your first gank, but this time it's coming from Kaka. They do manage to get the stacks up. Nice body blocks from Kaka. Enough to ensure the kill? It is. Fairy Fire will not save Ori. First blood for the Earthshaker.
And they set that up just as the Courier delivered the Orb of Venom. That's actually what secures the kill. Really nice job there. Good movement from the Shaker. And one of the few tri-lanes we've seen thus far at the tournament. But makes sense. You're trying to free farm your Arc Warden. You've got a Bane. It's a very formidable try. And also, because you have this advantageous matchup middle, you now can effectively play 2 lanes, which is what you want when you have a more roaming style of your 4 position.
Just in time, hits the Boundless Strike to be able to get the stacks up. Looks to finish off the range, but Eurus is going to die here in bottom lane as he tries to challenge this double range matchup he's against, and he just feeds.
Yeah, he's going so far so good for IG. Top lane, the downside of the Darkseer for is that, of course, you don't really apply any... Oh, hold up.
Oh, Fly gets a little bit low, but they're going to be able to get the Jingu stacks and the Fisher block. Just beautiful from Kaka. The Boundless Strike up to full health. And this is how you dominate a mid lane. Kaka is going to grab this double damage rune. He left it there for a bit to see if Fly wanted to pick it up.
This is sick now. Monkey King just starts to run away with this lane with this kind of lead. And we're going to see a repeat perhaps of that previous game where level 4 Kunkka is forced to jungle. And yeah, Darkseer, yeah, there's a Shaker roaming, but what is the Darkseer roam actually going to accomplish? He was expecting a more combative lane up top. They were going to end up trading resources. Instead, he's sort of relegated to just jungling and stacking because his effect up top is null. You just chase a Doom around, sure, but you're going to end up pushing the lane, and he just farms under tower. And I like this swap. You want to make sure that someone else gets the advantage of free farming tops. They'll put the Razor up there.
Yeah, but then aren't they just going to, okay, another Fisher block, dude. Somebody's got to give Ori some vision. He just cannot contend with this. The Winter Wyvern shows up, but it's far too late to save him. Ori going to get banged on by Kaka at the same time. PYW does manage to get the kill on JT as they trade out to Yang at the same time.
This is necessary because the Razor actually has kill potential on the Doom. And as you can see, IG are wreaking havoc on the mid and bottom lanes. They needed something, but...
Why didn't IG just swap right away? I know they have the TP up on Arc Warden at least.
Not sure, to be honest. They might have thought they could just do better than they are. Bane, of course, was still one of the best supports in Dota 2. And Arc Warden, like, you have 2 spells that deal damage, right? It's pretty simple. They're going to sleep into the spells. Now there's a Shaker setting up. It's just so much damage output.
Enough to ensure the Spark Rate does land. And they can pop the Flux as soon as Yang gets away from the creep wave. Due to that Fisher block, he's going to run back into the creep wave to try and dodge some of the damage, but it's enough. It's slowed him down. It's kept him in place, and enough for IG. 6-1 already.
And Ori still just coming back middle. 0 and 3, tripled up in CS by the Monkey King, but I don't mind the decision because you can't go jungle. Like, you cannot just let Monkey King farm mid, especially because he'll just hunt you in the jungle no problem once he pushes the lane in at nighttime. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to look for a kill, actually. Will this work?
Yeah, they're going to try and slow down Fly here. Kaka ready to get a good Fisher block in. Holds it for a little bit, now realizing that they're going to go for him instead. Tries to throw it out, does manage to dodge the Torrent, but it will be run down by the Ion Shell. Not sure if you could call that a successful gank, but it will give Ori a breath of relief. At least for a moment. Until he goes back in and almost dies. There's going to be that call to brace, but that just sets up Flyfly to be able to surround him with the Wukong's command. He's going to go for PYW at the same time. Gets that kill. And now playing forward. He's going to pop the healing salve. Look at that, Ollie.
Nice torrent.
Rotates over to be able to catch it. The torrent does land on a Flyfly, but he turns around. The dodge.
Oh,
He dodged a little bit of damage and will be able to lifesteal just enough to mount the strike.
Oh,
And
no, he missed.
He didn't hit anything. Flyfly, what the hell was that?
He saw them too.
He choked under pressure, man. You could have hit the 2 melee creeps and the Underlord.
That was just a whiff. That felt like one of those old school 80s moves with bad choreography. You know, you're supposed to lose the fight, and the punch just sails. He sees them. Like, he played sick, he jukes this.
I mean, I don't even think he
kills the
juked
courier?
that. He killed the courier, and then Yang, like, started going up.
Maybe he lost vision?
Maybe he did, yeah. He just clipped that one creep, that was it. That's all he hit. Awkward. 3-8 now, 2,000 net worth lead for IG. JT is, we haven't talked about him yet, but he's just trying to make it work against the Razor lane. Doing a little devouring, a little bit of creep pulling. Whatever tricks he can come up with.
Arcwarden is 28 denies. Emo recovered after the shellacking he got in that first game, now looking in a dominant position. Flyby as well. Like, this is what you're looking for if you're IG. Your 2 cores skyrocketing the top of the net worth chart. And you guys are the ones with the late game.
Last game he was sad. This game he just seemed straight mad. Trying to punish Vici Gaming. And instill the same kind of rough laning phase that he had to endure. And it's certainly working. 50 denies. 54 denies on the side of IG.
Rookie numbers, Cam.
Rookie numbers. What's the highest number of denies you've ever gotten, Kyle, in a game?
I'm not sure. It's not really something that I prioritize. I think denies are overrated. Just ask, well, no.
Kyle, weren't you an offlaner?
Let's not get into that, Cam.
So I was about to say, I rate denies real highly because that's what keeps me from getting levels, and that makes me feel real bad. This is just going to be a compilation of Ori deaths?
That way. There's quite a few of them. This could take some time.
One more Fisher block for the road.
This is not an instant replay. This is 3 separate times Ori dies in pretty much the exact same fashion.
It's just wild to me. Like, I understand they have a 4-position Darkseer, so not a lot he can do to help you. But I just can't believe they let Ori just get ganked that many times by an Earthshaker. Nobody wanted to give him vision.
I mean, he had
maybe that might be the culprit right there. PYW, where's your vision going, dog?
He had a ward, but unfortunately it didn't see where the Shaker was actually standing because he effectively just camped behind tower. And no one's going to ward behind their own tier 1 mid the initial daytime.
Well, all this free space they've given to Emo, he has statted up.
Trusty Shovel.
He's got 3 Wraith Bands and a Treads and Trusty Shovel for Yang.
What is it, a 16% chance to find a bounty rune?
Yep.
Unbalanced. Not really.
The true win is having an Alchemist, because even when he gets the little knoll, he doesn't care that much. Ollie pulled back into his doom, but Flyfly, he actually sees an opportunity to be able to fight, and he's right. Yang getting beaten senseless here with a big staff from Flyfly, but Yang will limp away with just 10 HP. Didn't want to overcommit. Meanwhile, Eurus, oh, that's a big kill. JT has had to put up with a lot of shit from this Razor, and he finally gets a little bit of revenge.
Emo made a great play there, just teleporting in his illusion. He's got triple Wraith Treads, so the stat and damage output's quite high. So we still have a little bit of a packet loss, so we're going to take a short break. But if I'm Vici, I need maybe a time machine to try and recover this early game, because at this point, it is really just out of reach. Once again, this Kunkka mid getting exploited. However, at least it required the rotation of a Shaker, but it didn't really punish bottom, as the Arc Warden's actually having an even better game than the Monkey King right now.
Yeah.
This is how you'd like to tri-lane. It's a forgotten relic of the past, but in a perfect world, when you aggro tri-lane, you want to have 2 heroes strong enough that they can be left there by their own, and also have kill potential on mid with one of your supports, because you're effectively just playing 4 people on the bottom side versus tri-laning hard. If you're stuck as 3 heroes, you end up just getting to a significant XP disadvantage. But because Shaker doesn't really need any, he can freely just rock the woods. And again, what is a Darkseer going to do? He's out leveling the Shaker, sure, but it doesn't matter because the game impact, radically different stories when it comes to these
I mean,
cores.
you pointed out pretty early. It's like, what can he do right now? Well, all he can really do is just stack. Nobody's afraid of the ganking Darkseer at level 2.
He does have 2 points in Vacuum, but even this is kind of odd to me. You've got no points in Surge. So
I thought this game was going to be a lot about the Surge, so I'm surprised he's willing to delay that ability so much.
Playing for the AoE combo, perhaps? So you do have a hell of a lot of AoE. You vac someone into the Wyvern ulti, then set up for the Torrent combo. You've got Pit, you've got Fire.
Let me just say, this Earthshaker is rocking the game right now, and that is an iconic Kaka hero. I remember watching replays all the way back at in like the TI 2-3 area, and I had a little notebook that I would write, my little notes on.
Yeah.
I was playing a little bit competitively at that time, but I was also casting as one of those.
You made like air quotes competitively?
Yeah, like air quotes. Like
Gotcha.
I scrimmed. And got dumpstered by real teams, that sort of thing. But
sounds like my experience as a professional.
But I had a little Dota notebook, and I still remember writing down Kaka, and it was just like any melee initiator you can give him, he's a god on it. You give him Earthshaker, you give him, back in those days, it was the 4-position Sand King that was also really good. He's just a beast at being able to read team fights and positioning himself to get initiations. He's certainly doing quite the job of it in this laning phase. We'll see as the game continues on. Nice shirt, JT.
I was about to say the same. I love negative space. So, any other stories in the past, Cap, you'd like to share with us in the audience?
How about the first time we casted together?
Oh, true. Was that 2009?
2009, a young Kyle and Capitalist
Radiant's top tower
in a different game, in a different world, in a different place in their lives. Casted Dota 2, and here in 2020, casting together again.
Why'd you check your watch when you said 2020?
Because I wanted to make sure I had the year right. I don't know, Kyle. The camera's not even on me. I'm like Rich, I just need, everything's a prop. Kunka's been caught. Okay, that's not a Fisher that's going to do any damage. He's not running
Blocked
up,
off the
that's
ally.
for sure. I guess so. Okay, well, they aren't going to be able to get initiation on Yang. They will manage to kill him. Fly kills him, and the Cold Embrace is not enough to save Ori either. So they managed to get 2 core kills off of that invasion. Very nice.
He had to do the long walk around. And wait,
and he just shows up, and he just died.
What?
Okay, Fly.
That's the play.
Wait. Does Fly have Boundless Strike yet? Oh, he does. I was like, maybe he was afraid of getting vacuumed up because I know he didn't have it for the longest time.
But I see now that that's what the vac's for, right?
Yeah.
You can't take fights. Go for the cliffs, right? It's been EG's kryptonite. Maybe it's IG's kryptonite as well. Interesting idea. Ori now, value Iron Talon. Pretty far behind, but at least he'll be able to get his creep score going a little bit faster. Just about to hit level 6. And
just sucks when all 3 of your cores cannot lane against this Arc Warden very well.
Yeah, and they're also all running together. Like, what? This is the most ridiculous gank. You've got look at that. There was 5 heroes here, Cap.
He tried to torrent him back. He tried to back him into the torrent. He didn't make it. Well, they got him. Kaka's dead.
But they're going to lose both outposts.
But is Kaka dead, Kyle?
You're right. Wait. Yeah. But that's not... I mean, it's 4 runes. It's both outposts. It's just not looking solid if you have an Underlord roaming through your own jungle. Now getting salved by Paparazzi, who's going to, I assume, just walk back to top.
He even gets his healing self-canceled by his Spark Wraith. Whoops. It's fine. He He's got a shovel. He can dig, dig, dig.
God,
And
of
other
all
stuff.
the times, like, you're behind, you'd love some stats, and Vici actually pick up 3 neutral items that effectively give them nothing. Shovel, Iron Talon, and Mango Tree.
Yeah. Dude, Mango Tree feels real bad when you're just getting run over.
Yeah.
Vision's
It's like,
not gonna
where do you
last
put it?
long.
Your own, you know, you're trying to make it for efficiency, but if you put it in your own jungle and the other team finds it, it's like, oh, what have we done? And this is Clone. This is going to be so much damage.
You got bopped. Well,
I can't believe this turn of events. If there's anything to glean from this thus far, I assume it's just the laning phase. Like, you can't lose your lanes.
We've been saying since the start of the minor.
Yep.
It's just like, lanes are really important.
Yeah, I was trying to pump RMN and Bulba for information on their drafts
yeah.
as their teams were winning. And obviously they don't want to give anything away, but they both agreed that if you win all 3 lanes, the game is much easier. And I asked them for clarification. They said yes. I wrote it down in my little notebook, and I think it's something we can all learn from.
Those damn Nigma players, man. They just keep on popping up. You can't stop them. First GH, now mind control. 6,000 net worth lead for IG. Asleep into a Fisher block, into a bunch of Spark Race. I mean, you could throw those Spark Race from so far away. But Yang is still very tanky. He's going to survive through a lot of this one, and he just threw out the Tempest double to finish out Yang. Does manage to get that kill. The axe back onto Ollie. And he will probably be run down. Okay, Winter's Curse. And look on the side. Kaka's ready to go. The boat's going to come in. That's still not enough to finish off Ollie. And his Fly joins in. Nice vacuum up the cliff. There's that surge. Look at him go. Level 1 Surge is so
underwhelming.
So useless.
It's funny, Darkseer, like the nerfs, he's still an excellent hero, but your laning phase in your early game are so bad. Especially, I've played the hero back in the day, you know, but ROTK and me, we have a bit of a thing for the hero. I remember when we were just
this is a nice initiation. Eurus? Okay, never mind. His static link got broken, and now he's walking into a Monkey King. This is not where Vici Gaming wants to be. Abort. Abandoned ship. Don't believe that TP, PYW. What you doing? That is contaminated area, sir. Don't go into that.
Now the emo clone just boxing out the entire Radiant lineup. Good lord. 4 to 6. It's an 8K gold lead, and I just don't. I don't know what you do. You got Tranquil, so you're gonna have a blink on Kaka by 18 minutes or so, and you look at this. I like this decision from Eurus. He's got to rush the BKB, and he's going all in on the damage. You cannot afford the luxury of move speed. You need a max QW and just BKB run at the Monkey King.
You know, it's really, like, I'm going back to it, but, like, the laning phase being so important. What happened if Vici Gaming just managed to get the lanes they wanted? You know, what happens if they manage to get the Razor into the
I don't
Doom
think
right
much
away?
changes.
No?
Simply because JT wasn't really the X factor. There's not really much you can do with the Darkseer 4 to match the tempo of IG. I actually think if you do anything, it's put the Razor middle.
Look at him go! Oh, Lord, he's surging. He's going to be run down by the Scorched Earth. Ori, he lost vision of him. He was supposed to be able to get vision. X marks him. He's stuck inside the tree area. Well, maybe it's for the best because Fly, he was actually somewhere close by.
Oh, they saw him. They saw him. Thank goodness. That would have been dangerous. If he starts farming those Ancients, I'm pretty sure he just gets ulted on top of by Monkey King. And yeah, to your point, the issue is just that there's no way to stop Vici, or IG rather, from winning that bottom lane with their Bane Arc Warden. And then the Shaker, whenever he shows up, it's a kill. I don't care what core is safe lane. And what do you... I guess you could have put Wyvern Underlord there, but it's still not going to go well for you. And you're always susceptible to just being ran at middle, and now Fly.
Okay, that's a decent boat here. Can they actually finish off the heroes? Fly going to be pulled back, trying to turn into a tree, but Yang cleaves him down with a big swing and is going to do the same to Kaka.
That's not bad. It's a hell of a fight right there. You pick up 2 kills real quick.
Yeah,
PYW escapes up top. They do lose tier 1 and all the bounty runes.
Did he get the deny on the tier 1? I believe he still did. He did. Good job. So that was a decent chunk of change that Vici Gaming just got, like 600 and some gold for those 2 kills mid. Deny on tower, that's another half.
Keen Optic for the Bane. Really nice luxury item.
Oh, yeah.
Love having cast range increase. Emo closing in, or yours rather, on the BKB. And Philosopher's Stone. Oh, man. That has got to be... I think Shovel and Philosopher's Stone, a lot of fans might not know, but for pro player perspectives, they're some of their favorite items because they're the only ones that actually just immediately can influence the game economy. And to like Fly's point, right? He's like, sometimes you're a 5 disruptor, you find a Philosopher's Stone, and then what do you know? You've got an Eggs. It's just like a free level 10 talent.
It is like...
Fan Brace, nice.
If you think about it, it's 600 golds for 10 minutes. That doesn't feel that impactful in the first 10 minutes of the game. But all these tier 1 and tier 2 items, you're going to shuck off.
Yeah.
You're going to leave them on the ground. You're going to trash them at some point in time. Those are the only items that really stay true. You're going to utilize them the entire game.
Yep, that's a really good point. It's the only thing you can't buy. It goes back to these mechanics in Dota, item-wise, skill-wise, that just you can't replace them. There's nothing you can do as the enemy team to combat them. Like Disruptor Ag's ultimate. It's just, I'm caught. I'm now AoE doomed for 5 seconds. There's no counterplay. And the thing I love about Dota is that almost everything does have some sort of counterplay. But if you're getting 60 more gold per minute and I'm not, there's no way to create a Philosopher's Stone. There's no Nicholas Flamels available, at least to my knowledge in this game.
I like that reference. I would have gone for Full Metal Alchemist, but I'm a weeb. You're not, so. Another tier 2, or first of the tier 2s down, rather. IG, pretty sure they could just systematically work their way across the map. Still got Roshan to take as well. Vampire Fangs for a Monkey King. He won't say no to that. 3 lifesteal for him.
Diffusal into the Echo Saber on the Monkey King. Just a fighting build. You don't need anything crazy. You've got an Arc Warden to secure the game for you, and you're just so far ahead. They get the Van Brace on Emo. He's just huge.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, he got the shawl too.
Yeah,
that's so good on Arc Warden. It makes your Mjolnir deal more damage, your Spark Wraith, your Flux. It's absolutely unreal.
That spell amplification plus magic resistance, and then minus armor? Is that what it is?
Minus 3 armor, 20% spell resistance, 8% spell damage.
Pretty high. Yang. Great smoke gank, or smoke tank rather. Managed to get out with the Dark Rift. Nice and easy.
And back to the bank, heal up. Maybe look to fight this. Does Eurus have his BKB yet? That is the question. Answer, no. But once he picks it up, perhaps you could look to get aggressive here. You just got to be so cautious because, you know, there's going to be Spark Wraiths everywhere, Monkey King in the trees, and Vici's lineup requires a choke point. They need IG to overcommit and get some sort of 3-4-man combo. I just don't see IG putting themselves in a position where that's going to occur because you just don't need to. You're going to have control of the map. You spread out, Delta split, make sure if anybody goes down, it's just the one. Wait out the Wyvern ulti, re-engage.
Well, we're just going to be watching some cores farm, it seems, for a bit, because IG, they don't feel super confident about being able to just break tier 2s down and go for these larger objectives. They're content with just farming a larger part of the map. Meanwhile, Vici Gaming, they'll take whatever pickoffs they can get, like Hawkeye here.
The tidy Tinker Ward that scouted him out, hiding in the trees. QLW going for a pipe next. Still just the 1-point search. He's maxing the vacuum, and I got to assume it's waiting for that opportunity for the knockout punch. If you hit a 3-4-man Wyvern ult or vac into boat, it could be big. Doom onto the Razor. He's Conka, he's dead.
Yeah, he pump faked a few times because he wasn't sure, but PYW, who tries to come into this, instantly dies as well. They're going to buy back and fight this. Oh, really? They think they can take this. Emo trying to go for the TP out underneath the pit. That doesn't work so well, my friend. Fly. He's going to be able to get off Wukong's command, and it's enough to get the kill onto Yang.
So all those buybacks did result in at least one kill, but they would love another, and that's where the vacuum pulling him back in. Oh, the full
God.
And now the Echo Slam, a 3-man Fisher to seal the deal. They're not going to be able to finish off that Monkey King. He will kill Ori, and now he might be able to kill Eurus as well. Actually, he's got to back up. It's still a little scary. He's missing a lot of armor from that lightning, but JT, he's a little bit more willing to commit. Kaka with a Fisher block in. PYW just has to try and go for kills, but not able to get any of 5-man wipe. Make it like 7-man wipe because of 2 buybacks as well from Vici Gaming. All for an Arc Warden.
Unbelievable. Oh my God. That Vac, if it pulls him out of the Monkey King ult completely, perhaps that's a kill because he gets so much plus armor from the Wukong. But Kaka, out of absolutely nowhere, it just slams it home. We're going to watch this fight real fast as they shrine up and look to Roche. As you can see, double buyback, immediate TP to the outpost. Emo, as you said, he's TPing in a pit. That's unfortunately ineffective. Flyby pops the ulti. He picks up Yang. Let's see just how close he is to the outskirts of his ultimate.
He's right on the line.
Yeah, because he's getting plus 18 armor thanks to this.
Yeah.
And,
what an initiation from JT, setting up Kaka to hit that Echo Slam, and then it's just over. It's over from there.
I love the Centaur. We didn't see that in the first game.
Yeah.
And I just think that this is the way you want to play Doom right now. Just, especially as the off lane, right? You get a drums phase, so you're strong early on. Later, blink BKB, and you just land your Doom, land some stuns. You effectively turn yourself into a Centaur with the addition of removing a hero from the game for 15 seconds. And then once he gets that Axe that he's got queued up, it'll be permanent.
Yeah, the best part is you're kind of a Centaur, you remove a hero from the game, and you scale so well.
Yeah. And I lied. I forgot. The new Axe is actually for the Infernal Blade, not the Doom.
Yeah.
It makes it break.
It makes it break. It makes it do, if you get the Aghanim Scepter plus the level 25, it's over 50% of your HP. Because you got the percentage-based damage, plus the base burn that's going into it, plus the spell amplification that you get from intelligence and stuff.
That's a lot, yeah.
It's insane.
It's currently, it would be 31% of your max HP burned on a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I like that.
It's not bad at all. And hey, it's also a good stun. That was what people were really hyped about. Get another stun on a Doom? That's hype.
But I look
the
at
burn
this,
damage.
man, whenever, Razor's the top net worth on his team.
Yeah.
And that is just not a very intimidating item.
Yeah.
Like, all of that is just not scary.
I mean, he went for the early BKB, and that's why they also bought back. They're saying, like, if we're going to win this game, we have to win fights right now.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. They did not win a fight right now.
I think IG is further ahead than they might realize at the moment. You're going to just run forwards. I agree with this decision. You were in such a dominant position. Just kill stuff.
Just kill them.
Yeah, like that.
Oh.
You can count on Emo to take care of the lanes.
Yep.
You just go fight them. Just run around the map.
When you're ahead with an Arc Warden, it feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
You're just running around the map together. You and your 3 other friends. An Arc Warden occasionally joins you with a Boots of Travel or Tempest Double.
Yep.
He deals with all the lanes.
This is the right choice. Just get Roche first. If they want to come fight you, you can split up a bit. They've got a ward on the high ground along with their Bane, just making sure nobody would get through them, smoked up. And now you just split up. Get ready to fight just in case they show, but no way Vici tries to fight in the pit.
It's going to be such a massive power spike. BKB on the Monkey King soon with the Aegis that they just grabbed, the Hurricane Pike. They don't have the best hero. I guess they got Aurora. He's pretty good at hitting tier 3s. I'll take that back. What does this Yield Scepter do, by the way?
If you cast it on yourself or an enemy, it lifts you up into the air for 2.4 seconds, gives some move speed, some mana regen.
Thank you, Kyle.
No worries.
That was very informative.
Trust me, if anyone knows what Yul's Scepter does, it's me.
I don't know. Wouldn't you be the last person to know what Yule Scepter does?
No.
Seeing as
you can
lost
only
yours?
truly understand something, Cap, after you have lost it.
Ah, I see. That's pretty good. No, but seriously, why Yules on Yang?
Set up, I suppose. You don't have any. It's like easy for Torrent, and they are lacking a bit of catch. If you consider it's effectively just X that would allow them to secure kills, and Ori wasn't really having the greatest of games thus far.
Yeah. It's just like in this losing game, like at best, it feels like at best it's going to maybe Yules the Doom or Earthshaker when they try and blink.
I don't know what you buy in this scenario other than perhaps like I don't know.
Well, what about a Meteor Hammer?
A Saboteur to unplug our internet, because right now you are up the creek without a paddle, and the longer the game, like you're playing against an Arc Warden Doom. Like look at their net worth skyrocket. The lead was 13, 14K. Every minute it goes up by almost 1,000. And yeah, Doom's getting like 350 gold every 70 seconds.
Yep, tried to go for the Fisher block. Missed.
Orb of Destruction. Decent.
Yeah, I mean, Orb Venom's pretty good on Monkey King, as is the minus armor orb. I always forget what it's called. So why not combine the two of them?
Yeah, right? Ooh. I mean, how is... Yeah, oh man, he's not getting the Ags anymore on the Doom. He's going for Shivas. I think that's probably the better decision, but still, I wanted to see the Doom Ags.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you just build a bunch of auras, right? Doom is going to be initiated on Winter's Curse into the boat, plus the Static Link. They're going to be taking his damage away, but they won't stop him from being able to teleport out. If anything.
The ult?
Fly the Yules into the Pit of Malice. Can they catch this guy? Fly. He's got the Aegis and the BKB, though. So even if he dies here, we'll see whether or not he dies the second time, especially Eurus taking so much damage. That one Tempest double just pounded him down.
Oh, they forced a BKB. They got the Aegis.
Yeah.
So far, so good for Vici. Now with the Force Staff on the Underlord to boot, so going for more of the utility style. What's Ori got? Is he closing in on that BKB yet? Soon. I like the choice. I know this game feels somewhat hopeless for Vici. It might be, but I appreciate the way they've played. If you consider how far behind they were, they had to do this. So you get the early stat fighting items, right? Armlet on Kunkka, BKB Razor. You at least give yourself some hope. You do the Philosopher's Stone ticking on PYW.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I doubt it will provide immortal or eternal life because he's effectively just dead in a stun. He's got to position himself very carefully as this game progresses. Telescope on the Wyvern, quite nice. It'll help with their catch potential and perhaps allow him to find a big ultimate. I mean, you can still win a fight. 3-4-man Wyvern Curse. Perhaps you turn this around.
Trying to catch Yang here.
Oh,
Great Winter's Curse. Can they follow this up? They're going to follow it up with a Pit of Malice, a little bit of damage there, but they just don't feel confident enough to be able to take that fight. And probably nor should they. With the BKBs up, they're just going to have to leave DY and play inside their base. Oh, Fly wants it. He's going to go in. He's already fissured up Ori, but the Surge might just be able to get him out in time. Force Staff, and he's away. He gets out. IG dive in recklessly and will not be rewarded right away with a kill.
I love the itemization too. Double Force Staff on the supports.
Yeah. It is a Force Staff game.
Actually,
for sure.
It's 3 because you have the Pike as well on Emo. He doesn't use his. Something that's actually quite nice. I had the misfortune of playing with a few carries that had Save a Buddy syndrome. When you're on a hero like Arc Warden, it's cute and it's flashy to save an ally, but the moment you use your mobility tool, suddenly you're the one who's susceptible and you're the one that can't die. Oh,
trying to deal with Tempest double, but he's gone a little bit too far forward, or he still doesn't have that BKB. So down at Flux, they're going to doom him up as well. The Winters, okay, they're going to be able to save him with the Cold Embrace for a little bit of time. Can he actually get back to the fountain? It's going to be a bit of a close call. He's going to take out too soon. They deny him instead.
Do you get permanent damage for that?
I don't believe so, no.
But if you did.
No. But if you did, that would be hype. Don't think it would change what's happening right now to their tier 3. Look at Fly. positioning himself to try and get some sort of pounce in, but it's Kaka who pounces first. A two-man Echo, Fiend's Grip onto the BKB Razor. So that's going to be a wasted BKB pretty much. Still not enough to be able to finish off Yang, who now turns around, gets a Pit of Malice on Ollie. Ollie in trouble, is going to be X'd back into that pit. The buybacks are effective in getting a 5-position kill, but nothing else. The rest of IG, they managed to get out.
Hey, this is not over. They're still clawing their way back into this. 21K gold lead. It's expanded a bit, but, you know, little by little, Vici, they're getting their items online. Ori's forced to spend the buyback, but he'll have BKB soon.
Okay.
Used.
You're trying to give me some hope here, Kyle. So what are the chances? Late game, Vici Gaming, can they win this against...
Define late game.
What timing is the best timing for Vici to win?
If we're still in this game at maybe 70 minutes,
okay,
I think they've got a pretty good shot.
So you're saying when batshit crazy items drop from neutrals,
well, it's got to be
changing items. That's
no. It's about IG running out of item slots.
Okay.
You still can't buy a 7th, so you consider Doom already almost maxed out. Same with the Arc Warden. You need time for them to like catch up, right? Because if you have 9 items, however, that's where we also perhaps get to a point. I can't believe we haven't seen this. I want to see Courier Gaming.
Yeah, sure. I would slightly counter your point about not being able to buy slots. You can buy both Moonshard and Aghanim slots.
Sure.
You know?
But you know what you can't buy? Woodland Striders. Did you see that video of the game? They're getting base rushed. The Courier Woodland Striders creating a defensive forest around the throne. Preserving their base long enough to actually turn it around and go back and win.
Amazing.
It could happen. What's the win probability right now?
That's...
See, look at that.
Either a good question or a bad question. I'm not sure which. 7% is...
I'll take that.
Maybe more than I would have given Vici Gaming
Me
at this
too.
point. I'm not sure.
But you never know. It's always that one shot, that one opportunity. You turn IG to spaghetti if they clump up. They had that 3-man Wyvern ulti, but there was no Kunkka in sight. Ori was boxed out by Kaka. And JT put himself on the cliff. He's not stuck there. He's got a blink. And spider legs. God, that's a great Doom item.
He's a hungry boy. He wants to eat something.
Gotta be a great EG item, too. Anytime Arteezy gets spider legs, I feel like if I'm a fan, I'm breathing a sigh of relief.
Can't get sprouted. Can't get clipped. Life is good. 40 Doom DPS. Emo.
Oh, tier 3. Nice.
Got the tier 3 finally. It's giving them some Tempest double gold, but it will also give IG Shrine gold. So, make of that what you will. Roshan spawn time is coming up soon. Soon. BKB for the Arc Warden. So now his Tempest double can run at the base a little bit more effectively.
Oh. Hey, can you give away Van Braces after you make it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty solid. I just realized the implications of that because it also changes the bonus like attribute based on the hero that's holding it, right?
No.
Hero that makes it.
No. It's based off of how you built the Van Brace. If you build it with Wraith Bands, it stays. Yeah. That's what you meant.
I'm trying to think of the implications. Like
you just worded it poorly.
So if I buy Wraith Bands, I'm the support, and I make a Van Brace, I can just hand it to my carry.
Yeah.
Effectively giving him 1,000 net worth.
Most people do the opposite, which is if they get the Van Brace, they'll build it out of Wraith Bands, or excuse me, not Wraith Bands, but Bracers or Null Talismans.
Dude, that's another item that's like stronger than you realize just because of the net worth factor. Like if you're a Morphling and you have 2 Wraith Bands and you just get a Van Brace, you effectively buy an item slot and lose 1,000 net worth, which is the dream because, you know, kill gold is mostly calculated on
Surge, fine. Fly. Just being a madman when it comes to diving in. He has no vision up there. He just keeps on jumping in.
seeing if he can find somebody out of position. No need to do that, though, my friend, because you've got the opportunity to take Roshan. That is our... it's going to spawn... Is that Aegis and Cheese? I've lost track of Roshans. Just Aegis and Cheese.
This game goes on much longer. I might lose track of more. At this point,
okay, Kyle. The longer games go,
what would happen?
It gives you more learning opportunities about neutral items.
At what point?
I was shocked, by the way, when you told me what Nethershall did. But
Really?
then you just asked me about Vambrace.
I
knew exactly the stats on Nethershall, but had no idea how Vambrace worked. How does this work with you, Kyle? Did you only study half
Look,
the items?
I deliberately try to keep myself in the dark about certain things so that I can learn with the viewers. You know, it feels a lot more educational, I think, if the teacher and the student are in the same position.
I don't think that's how schools work, Kyle.
Well, I lived in America, Cap, so...
Will Kiss, let's open up this textbook. We're going to learn together. I don't know what the shit has happened.
There was this, bless her heart, really sweet lady, Miss Zathulius. She taught my sophomore year science class. She had absolutely no control. We were terrible, terrible teenagers. And there's this one day, she effectively said, you know, if you guys don't want me to teach, well, let's see how you do it. And I was like, I'll teach the class. And that Friday, I taught the class. Let me tell you, my lesson plan was not fully fleshed out, but I gave it my all.
Let me guess, you threw a lot of quotes at these kids.
Nope, I printed a bunch of stuff off the internet and wrote on the whiteboard.
Well, that's what Vici Gaming is doing right now, is they scramble to figure out a way to hold against IG, who is just taking a range barracks, and they still have not found their opening. In fact, whoa, if anything, IG just found an opening. Getting a free kill onto Winter Wyvern, who does have a buyback, but they're like poking at IG, hoping that something's gonna break here, but instead it's just Vici Gaming heroes. They keep on breaking. Another kill, 2 buybacks, but a melee barracks still dead, and Vici Gaming still unable to find an opening here. BKB activated by Monkey King, so he doesn't have that, but you can't even deal with his Tempest double. Emo, his illusion is single-handedly beating the team to death. The Winter's Curse, okay, that's gonna go out. PYW still down. Boat on to 2, that's controlling him. Fly still has Tempest double as well. The Wukong's man, Vici Gaming, they gotta get out, but they can't get out because now the Fiend's grip is holding Eurus in place. Enough for Emo to be able to get that 1 kill. Doomed up an hour. He's like, that's it, I'm out. It's 38 minutes of this. I'm tired of losing. Let's just go on to game 3.
Yep. They've had enough. Honestly, respect for playing it out as long as they did, just banking on perhaps that big mistake that perhaps could have propelled them to a win, but this is one of those scenarios where I think winning this second game is actually a big edge for IG because, you know, they lost quick and easy. Vici knew they were on the back foot effectively the entire game, and 40 minutes later, they're finally tapped out.
Is there a bit of mental exhaustion that comes into play losing for that long?
It definitely doesn't feel good, Cap. As someone who's got experience with that for years, it hurts. It still hurts. And I think you got to go back, you know, take a deep breath. If we learned anything from the first and second series so far, we've had a very high level of Dota, but games are decided by the lanes. You cannot be in a position where you're just getting rolled with no counterplay. This 4-position Darkseer also, I don't know, we've seen now 2 games with it where it just got absolutely destroyed. Game 3, EG Enigma, Game 2 here. It's just, what's it do?
Well, we started off this game with Vici Gaming having a laugh during a draft. Kyle was certain that IG just had nothing to be able to do in this game 2, but they just wiped Vici Gaming off the face of the planet. What's going to happen in game 3? Who knows? Certainly not Kyle.